My name is Mridula. I am in the very late of my 30s. I am a mom. I have two boys who are 12 and 9. I teach high school economics, and the thing that really keeps me happy is dance. So I learn modern jazz. I started learning in 2016, and I started at grade 2 jazz, and miracle of miracles, here I am at grade 6. So when I was 8 years old, I started learning Bharatanatyam because that's what every child in Mylapore does. And over the years, I really enjoyed learning dance. I think there's something really beautiful about dance, and so I kept that with me. And even when I went abroad to study, I kept up Bharatanatyam. In fact, I had a club there, and I was teaching a few of my American friends about Bharatanatyam. And I was always very passionate about dance. And then life happened, jobs and marriage and kids, and dance came to a standstill. And then I really wanted to get back into dance. So in fact, my best friend who learned Bharatanatyam with me, she and I said, why don't we try something different? And we decided to explore modern jazz, and we really loved it. So that's how I started learning. So a friend of mine and we decided we wanted to try something different, and we zeroed in on modern jazz, and we came for a trial class and really loved it. It's something I didn't know anything about, and even though I'd done so many years of Bharatanatyam, it felt like I was starting from scratch. And the challenge of it was the beauty of it. I really enjoyed pushing myself, trying out things that I had never done before, and all the pain that comes with trying to dance and improve your flexibility and use your strength to move. And just for the fun of it, I also started learning hip hop, and that was something different because I think we are so inhibited usually, and hip hop is something that requires you to be free. And so I had the serious dance style, which was modern jazz, and we train every year to do an exam at the end of the year, and then just to break free and enjoy your body, we also I learn hip hop. So that's where I am at. What I really enjoy about learning modern jazz is the structure. I think the structure is what gives us something to hold on to. So it's fun to come, it's fun to dance, it's fun to learn new steps, but when you know you're working towards a goal, that motivates you, because every class you're trying harder and harder to reach that goal. And although I would have never imagined that I'd be doing an examination every year, and believe me, it's nerve-wracking to get ready for an exam and come in front of an examiner and present yourself in a very, very formal way. But I think that also pushes you to take risks and try something that you wouldn't usually do. And I think because of my age and starting off later, I'm really able to appreciate the structure, the discipline and the seriousness that this dance form requires, which maybe if I had started at a very young age, I may have found it too strict or too formal. But now I can really see, as I get through each level, what is expected and how we need to use our body to move. And therefore I think although it's been very difficult to start after my mid-30s, it has also allowed me to truly appreciate how challenging and enjoyable it is to learn a structured dance form like. So another unique thing about the modern jazz syllabus that we learn is that we do the exam at the end of the year, as I said, and we get a certificate. And you may think at this age, what am I going to do with a certificate? But I think that gives me the seriousness to practice, to stay consistent, to come every single class and give it the best that I can, however frustrating, however difficult it is. Because at the end of the year, when the examiner gives you a certificate and when they give you feedback, that feedback is really valuable, because that's someone from the outside evaluating your dance and telling you where you stand. And I think this also takes back to your personal life, because you realize how hard work translates into effort, and you can not only use it to improve your dance because the feedback given in that certificate is so specific that you know where you need to move forward the following year. But additionally, it also helps you understand yourself better, and so rather than just keep learning and keep moving to different levels, I think the certification specifically plays a very important role in making sure that I stay on path and keep at it. So I have two boys, as I said. They are 12 and 9 years old, and both of them started learning music at a really young age. And as they learned more music, as their musical sense grew, their teachers encouraged them to start doing the exams. And while exams are not a goal in and of themselves, I think they do give you something to work towards. And when you know that you are going to be evaluated by someone, when you know that you have to hold yourself to certain standards, that you have to reach a certain level of technical proficiency, it makes you a lot more serious and also makes your practice a lot more focused. So they started with their music exams, and when you get a result that has been validated by another person, I think that tells a child very well where they stand, rather than the parent or the teacher, because this is someone external who's giving them neutral feedback. And so when they started learning dance, I genuinely never knew that there would be exams in dance, but the younger son learns ballet, jazz and tap, and he thoroughly enjoys getting ready for the exam. So unlike older people who are more nervous, I think children at that age are excited and they're ready to perform, and they love the validation that comes from the examiner to listen to their feedback and move on to the next step. And it's a sense of accomplishment that they've completed a level and gone on to the next level. And seeing him, my older son, who was initially learning only hip hop, decided that he wanted to learn tap. And again, I think they compare themselves and they say, Ma, when we were at grade 1 level, or when we were at this level, this is how we were at, and here's where we are at now, and or this is how the step was then, and now we have to do this. And that was so easy, though we struggled to do it then. So I think they're able to see how they progress along the way. So even though an exam shouldn't be the be all and end all, I think it gives the child a sense of where they stand, not in relation to others, but in relation to how far they moved from where they started. So I think that's the value of having an exam and having a certification attached to that exam. So in all of this, if you ask me what's one very, very important factor, I think it's the role of the teacher. And just like any sport you play, the coach is a very central person. I think it works the same way with dance or music. And I think I've been very fortunate to have experienced teachers myself, as well as had teachers for my sons who are really dedicated and really focused. And in that, I have learned how important a professional environment is and a dedicated teacher is, because when you come in for a class, a dedicated teacher will have a plan ready, and they understand each of their students, they understand what weaknesses that student has and how they need to develop those to make them a better musician or a dancer, and they have a long-term plan in mind. And that's when a child or an adult can really improve. I've also had teachers where you just go in and there's no plan, and you do something in that 1 hour, but it's not really leading anywhere, and then you find that actually growth is stagnant. So the role of a teacher is extremely important in setting the milestones, and I think a teacher always knows more than the student how far a student can be pushed, and plans according to that, and that can be hugely beneficial to the student. I have had my sons often say, Ma, my teacher scolded me because I wasn't doing this properly, and I say, well, that means they see some potential in you and they're trying to push you towards that. So take criticism positively and work harder rather than seeing it as something to feel bad about. And luckily my kids have had fabulous teachers, and I think that has also helped sustain their interest, because when they see that their teacher puts in so much, they also feel like reciprocating and putting in even more. So all the best.